Okay, so we're live. While waiting for my guest for tonight, kamusta po yung kagabi was the launch of Ring Light series by Miss Universe Philippines. Kamusta po yung panonood nyo ng episode 1? Ako, I'm really hooked and I'm looking forward na sana yung mga future episodes ng Ring Light series will become really, really spectacular for everyone. It's worth your penny at 299 pesos. Ayun, so, well, while we are waiting for Chris Castro, we're going to just flash a few things, sana, and hope na we can get to we can get to talk to her in a bit. Oh, yun, ayan na siya. Please welcome my guest for tonight, Miss Maricres Castro. Hi!
Oh, hello. Sorry, I'm so late.
Hi!
Apologies. Hello. Oh, ang ganda mo. I love
Kamusta?
your makeup. I'm doing okay. Okay naman po. Walang problema. Masaya naman ako. Maraming salamat po sa inyo for this opportunity naman po.
Thank you for making us sing it. Kahit alam kong busy ka na. Busy na kayong lahat actually.
Ay, laban na lang. Naku, grabe. And seize up every opportunity. So thank you so much po for this incredible opportunity to be on your platform. Pageant Hub! First time ko dito.
Actually, marami na akong na-feature dito na Miss Universe Philippines candidates for quite some time, mga around 2 months, 2 to 3 months. Marami na. And probably, siguro you're the 13th or 14th one girl I featured and
I
talked to.
know. Yes, I love watching your interviews, especially with my sis Kim. I love her so much. So grabe naman. You're such a good. You can pick them. Yeah, you're a great host.
And you are a great speaker as well. I've
Oh,
seen
thank
your
you.
I've seen your lives and your hosting skills. Sabi ko, this
Thank
will
you.
ito yung babaeng mangangain ng mic if in case makapasok siya sa Q&A ng Miss Universe Philippines. I feel it.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot to my heart because my advocacies, I'm not, doing it just to do it. This is my life. This is my whole heart on the line right now. So thank you so much for just this opportunity to further why I'm here. The point of why I fight is for these kids, it's for these rights, and it's for adoption, and it's for addressing over 2 million abandoned children dito sa Pilipinas. So it's a message that's getting out there. So maraming salamat po for this opportunity.
Okay, to start, how has your 2020 been so far?
Of course, it has been a little haphazard, a bit up and down. For everyone, it came to a full stop kasi grabe naman, we were going 100 miles an hour with the starting of this pageant. Nako, we had our press presentation, everything was going great. I'm also balancing school and work at the same time, so I'm so used to being out of my house, diba? I'm a go, go, go kind of girl. Actually, kanina, I just had a photo shoot outside in Muntinlupa with my city government. So that's why I'm actually all dressed up. But I want to keep it on for you also. So, may sneak peek now. And, it really hit us all so hard, like a ton of bricks. When we first heard that things were going to start being canceled, postponed, and then slowly but surely, the reality of what was happening started to sink in. And, I think it caught all of us off guard. Grabe naman po. And I felt the weight of it immediately kasi there are people outside serving our country in uniform who are serving in the hot sun. And so with Rotary Club of Makati, my Tita Doremi, my ninang, is a very active member there. So we partnered and distributed meals to our frontliners serving in uniform on the Las Piñas Parañaque border. And it was just a joy to see just being a beauty queen, just by stepping out of the car, greeting people, they instantly, were just rejuvenated, diba? You're out serving in the hot sun, then all of a sudden come up with some food for you and just to make their day. So parang it's my whole 2020 has been filled with those pockets, those little moments of joy, of happiness. Para even though we are having a really hard, tough 2020, no doubt about it, but it's these small victories of wins, of new campaigns that are making a difference, like whether it's my new blood donation drive campaign in honor of my grandmother, the first female mayor of Quezon City and the first female governor of the Philippine Red Cross Rizal chapter, turning 100 and campaigning for 100
Wow.
new blood donors in honor of 100 years of service. So it's just a small way we can honor her since I'm the current vice president, third vice president of the Taguig Centennial Lions Club. And so I'm actually really new, but for some reason they wanted to elect me to their leadership, and I don't want to disappoint. So I have that initiative, and grabe naman po, it's like susunod. I just did a talk with the not the Lions Club, but with the Rotary Club of Pasay. So one of my girlfriends, my sister friends in environmental science, invited me to speak because she's an active member there. And you know what, po? It opened a door. I'm not even kidding. Like, we are actually doing work now for my advocacy to get at least 25 Rotarians to be not only committed to donating one time, but every month to the Chosen Children's Village Foundation of Cavite. And that's where my sponsor child, sweet little PJ, is an abandoned disabled child. Nandiyan siya, and he's receiving love, care, and affirmation that he is chosen by God, and inviting others to be a part of this experience. It's the president of Pasay West Rotary Club was just really inspired by that and touched. And she actually wants to sponsor two kids, not just one. Oh my gosh, it's like a competition again to just further do good in our world. And so grabe naman po, I think 2020 has been so tough, but at the same time, it's opened so many doors for so many incredible opportunities to serve and to make a difference.
I agree na 2020 is full circle for every one of us, especially sa inyo who were doing Miss Universe Philippines and sa amin din who were in school. I'm working in the education sector, so medyo full circle of going online, stopping
Wow.
classes and all. And the reason why I in-approach kita for a quick interview is because your advocacies seem to be parang internal part siya ng buhay mo. Hindi siya yung parang advocacy dahil may Miss Universe Philippines or something. So
Absolutely.
I'd like you to talk about first your my next question is you're one of the fewer ladies I've met in MUP who has established herself in different advocacies. Can you tell us the story about you being a medical missionary?
Absolutely. And I just want to say, first and foremost, it starts with God and a love for Jesus, that He loved me so much that He gave His life for me. And that inspired my grandmother's life on my dad's side. He's of the Agda Tabangon tribe, and she was the first woman, female doctor out of Sorsogon, and our tiny village of Pilar, Sorsogon. And so for her, medicine and everything and service was part of honoring God. And so when she moved to the United States, along with her husband, who's an attorney, he's an attorney from UP, and my grandmother's from UST, they decided that their life and their kids would also grow up that way. And that's why after she retired, she came back with me. I was so young, I was only 13 years old on the opening day of our hospital, the first hospital in Pilar, Sorsogon. And it was incredible. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, like they had never seen someone who looked like them who was so tall, and I was just kind of taken aback by, because in the U.S. I'm very normal in average in terms of height. And then all of a sudden, I'm in Pilar Sorsogon, surrounded by kids older than me, that are younger than me, that are much older than me. And they were looking at me for advice. And here I am, 13 years old, helping arrange a medical mission with my grandmother, with my dad and my mom and everyone. It's a family effort. And much thanks to my father used to be the president of the Rotary Club of Alabang. And so much thanks to their effort also collaboratively with supporting the building of our hospital. They also volunteered with us. So I've been interacting with Rotary for a long time. And we're all family now. And it's just that, just kasi po I used to be so shy. And but that
Wow.
experience, yes, I'm serious. Sobrang tahimik kasi actually personal story ako may hugot. So I was so shy in America. Like growing up, I was usually the only Asian kid and usually the only brown kid in class. And so when I was in kindergarten, uh, I was so quiet. One of the students and the teachers, they were talking about me, around me, in front of me, and they were like, "Oh, maybe she doesn't speak English." Even though I
Wow.
was born and raised there, and I just remember feeling like, "What?" But in our culture, I didn't really, because in my household we're Filipino, we're very Filipino, so it's not like, oh, someone talks bad about you, you raise your voice back at them and say no, that's. And for me, it was so hard to just, internalize what just happened and then be able to voice, kind of like, what is going on, what. And then now that I'm older, I now know that is a stereotype that they were saying because, oh, I look, different. I'm a minority in America. And actually, a lot of people in my class, they'd never heard of a Filipino before. They were like, what is that? Is that like Hispanic? Or is that like, are you from like Mexican? Or is it? And it was,
Kasi 'di ba magkakamukha?
yeah, yeah, actually, though, in fairness, especially because, we were both colonized by the same people. We were both colonized by Spain. So we have a lot of similar food. Even our language, diba, very influenced by Spanish. So it was a really big growing time for me. And it's only when I said yes to going back to the Philippines, to my roots, to serving alongside my grandmother and my dad and everyone that I realized my calling in life. And that was to serve because it brought me out of my shell. All of a sudden, I'm this tall person. All of a sudden, people are asking me for advice. All of a sudden, people are asking me for directions. Where do I stand in line for this? Where do I go for this? And and they had so many questions for me. Like I was actually, for the first time I stepped foot in the Philippines, I almost cried because it was the first time I was surrounded by people who looked like me. And it was just like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, I'm home. Like this is, you grow up in America and people say, you're Filipino, you're Filipino, you're Filipino. But have you ever been there? Have you ever spoken the language? Have you learned the culture? And, we have the culture, and my mother and my dad, they're both Filipino, they're both proud. Pero, it's a bit hard to speak fluently for me, but I'm learning. I speak 5 languages fluently, but I'm always working on more. And hence my hashtag Mother Tongue PH initiative to teach 8 different languages here in the Philippines because we have so much to offer the world in richness in language and in food. And so parang that was the beginning of my journey as a medical missionary, not just because of saying yes to Jesus, which is so important, but because by saying that yes, it brought me out of my shell and it brought me into this phenomenal journey. I've lived in Africa, I've served in Europe, I've studied in Europe, I've been all over the place, and golly, it's such an incredible, phenomenal experience. Po.
Ito yung aking follow-up question. How have you
Mhm.
managed to fit in easily to the places where you have lived? Diba you've been in Africa, you've been in Europe. I'm sure may adjustment, pero how did you fit in?
It was really hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard because, everyone says, oh, I want to go to America. But, they don't know that racism is still really heavy there. And, like, for example, my grandmother, my godmother, she went to Atlanta, Georgia. And then there's still the colored bathroom. So, and the white bathroom. And sabi niya siya, oh, I'm
Meron
not
pa rin.
colored. Yeah, it's still there in some restaurants. It's still there. And so she was saying like, oh, she was talking to her friend, which one do I go into? Because I'm not black, but I'm not white. Parang maybe I go into the white one. And then someone stopped her and said that if you go into this bathroom, we will drag you outside. Grabe. Like it's still really present, especially in the South. And so naman, um, when I go into these places, I go in with a smile and I go in with the intent to understand. Kasi even when I was younger, those difficult experiences helped me see not who I am, but who they are and how they are kind of wearing this mask of understanding. And it's so sayang kasi to get to know the real me, to get to know a real Filipino, to get to know who we are past this mask has just been a joy po. And so, parang you have an extended hand and you smile and you invite someone by saying hello, mabuhay, welcome. And, this is my culture. I'm Filipino American. I'm proud. And grabe naman po, it really does open doors in Africa, in America, and in everywhere in Africa, actually. So I've been to 14 countries in Africa. There are 57 countries in Africa. And so, just as a fun fact, and you can fit about maybe 6 of the United States in Africa, the whole continent. And you can fit easily in California alone, the entire Philippines. And California is only one state out of 50 in the United States. So, just to give you an idea of how big it is, and it's so phenomenal po that kindness is truly international. And by coming in with a good heart, that's the way you build a bridge. So,
Natuwa ako. Parang nakakadalawang tanong pa lang ako, parang ang dami na nating na-take up.
sure,
Natutuwa ako.
no worries. Can have all night. It's okay.
So, yung mga stays mo sa Africa, Europe, that's around years? Years ano? If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
years. I lived in Zambia for 2 years, right after graduating with my Bachelor's of Science in Biology and minor environmental science as a full ride scholar. Mhm.
Wow. Parang na-realize ko, there's really more than you girls, parang what you present online. Parang when I do these interviews, ang dami ko nare-realize about the Miss Universe Philippines delegates. Iba-iba pero sobrang gagaling in their own
Thank you po.
ways.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. And it's really, I can, I super duper agree with you, by the way, because it is, it's just an honor to get to know each and every one of these girls. And not only to get to know them, but to get to know their hearts. Dami naman, nako, yung pakiramdam, it's such an inspiring feeling to really get to know the heart of another empowered woman. And then to like, nako, reviving, we're having a great time. And, it's really once in a lifetime. And it's not the end. Grabe. All of these girls making new friends from all over the Philippines and then being able to, support each other and each other's advocacies. It's phenomenal. So, woman power.
Eto, ang question ko, medyo na-curious ako eh. You've been such a good speaker, sabi ko. Was there a time na you still, get nervous or you stutter in front of a crowd?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always have that feeling of, am I ready? Am I good enough? And usually that feeling is what compels me to prepare like crazy. And so by the time I get on stage, I already have like 500, 300 different ways of approaching a question, of thinking about it critically, and then having supporting evidence. Because in college, I used to be a part of the debate team. And so that's how we go down, is by preparing a lot.
Now, let's move on naman to your pageant journey naman. Curious ako with this
Sure.
question. What was the internal motivation towards joining pageants? Kasi upon my research, the research talaga eh, no? You've joined two pageants before Miss Universe Philippines. Tama ba? O baka mali ako.
I've joined actually about five pageants before. And so, oh no, four, sorry, four pageants before. And it really all started with my first pageant, which was Miss Filipina International. And so I had just finished my US Peace Corps service and had had a very traumatic incident where I was sexually assaulted by a Filipino in Zambia. And so that really shook and broke a lot of my sense of self esteem and my sense of self beauty and self confidence. And so when I was just depressed and, sitting in my mom's house, I saw one of my friends from 10th, when we were 10 years old, post about winning Miss Oahu, Philippines, and how this phenomenal journey. She is such an excellent writer. She wrote about how it helped her love herself after decades of really struggling, I mean, years of really struggling with depression, thoughts of suicide, things like that, things that I was going through at that moment. And so I was like, I want a piece of that. I want to try this out. I've never tried this before, but I need to do something to get me out of this rut that I'm in. And I need to, you know, everyone says, it's not your fault. You need to, be able to take time for yourself. But then what does taking time for yourself look like? And pageantry was just the ultimate. You have to focus on you. You have to focus on your skincare, your internal health, what you eat, from how you sleep, the discipline that takes into committing to your overall well being. And what I love the most about pageantry is positive self talk, about how when you walk down that runway, you cannot think, oh my gosh, my thighs are too big, my arms are too big. You have to be like, I love my body. My body looks good. I worked hard for this. I was disciplined. I ate well. I've been practicing my walk like crazy every day. So I am ready. Just like with the debate team, I am ready. And so, and I am enough. I am enough. I'm going to lay it all out there because this is my time to show and that to show my labor of love, and in a way that is just exuding, self-confidence and that essence of a woman, that you love yourself and you love others. And so it's just why I joined and never kind of looked back. It's always come back full circle. Kasi po, I've been doing this advocacy work way before I even joined pageant. Since I was 13 years old, medical missionary now ako. I'm already captain of, our STEP team. I'm already president of the Future Business Leaders of America for 2 years in high school, even secretary of the Key Club for service, president of the Diversity Club for building relationships between, you know, more inclusivity within our Caucasian, mostly predominantly white community, and opening their eyes and also opening our eyes as minorities on how we can connect and not allow these barriers of hate to get in the way of love. And so I feel like, wow, all of these things I did growing up that I did just to kind of prove myself turned out to really prepare myself for a time where just being myself is enough, because I've already done all of this and it's an incredible opportunity to teach who I am and to inspire others even more.
My next question would be yung how is it easy or hard na to inspire people? I mean, kayo as beauty queens, you should be parang on top of your game lagi. Pero is it easy to really inspire people?
I think it is easy as staying consistent because the most inspiring thing you can do is be true to who you are, day in, day out, and being open and being vulnerable about your journey. Because authenticity is key to connecting with others, and that is what's going to inspire people. That just that ability of being honest to yourself and honest to others, wearing the same face in every group that you are in, that's integrity and that's inspiring. Especially in this world today filled with filters and so much things that we do just to try to fit in, just by being who you are, you're going to stand out and you're going to draw a crowd to you. So I just want to encourage others with that question. If you're looking to inspire, whether it's through joining beauty pageants, doing debate team, or rocking it in some other field, be you and you can do it.
Medyo na-pump up ako ng konti. Kasi I don't
Great.
know, but yeah. Sometimes kasi parang I'm trying not to be honest about myself, about how I feel because makakasakit ako ng ibang tao. Ikaw,
Mm.
would you consider being honest
Oh
about
my
what
God. Yes,
being
yes.
authentic or honest at the expense of actually hurting people or changing your relationship with that person?
Yes, I want to say absolutely yes. Unfortunately, we only have one life, and you cannot live that life in fear of what others may think of you or what others might do because you are vulnerable. You have to speak your truth. You have to shine your light. That's why the Me Too movement exists, to know, so that you know you're not alone and that you're not the only person who feels that way, that by speaking their truth, it's going to hurt someone. You're hurting. You're that someone who's already hurting. Trying to think about, all these other people who might hurt when you are already hurting on the inside. Grabe, when you're talking about that, I have felt that way so bad in the past. Like, oh, my truth is going to hurt this person. It's going to hurt. Oh, my truth is going to do this or it's going to do that. And it's like, at some point, you just have to breathe and you just have to let it out. You have to roar, you have to shout, and you just have to live your life authentically. And you know what? Unfortunately, not everyone will appreciate that. But guess what? God appreciates that because He gave you a voice for a reason. So roar and roar for change. So thank you for that.
Ayun, parang wala lang, parang nakakuha ako ng mga tips today.
Ako rin, I'm preaching to myself too. Dami naman, mga bashers ko rin, or dami naman, do I want to say this or do I want to say that? Those little voices in the back of your head. Pero you gotta wake up in the morning, open your Bible, squash those demons, speaking all those little hateful things, and by living fully in your light, by being fully who you are, by being fearless and fierce, grabe naman po, you're gonna set the world on fire. Like, oh my gosh, just go. Just go. Yes. Yes.
With that, narinig ko sa'yo, meron ka rin ba mga bashers? Ayun, do people bash you or what?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, what pageant girl does not have bashers? it's not it's not abnormal. It's not abnormal to have bashers in this industry. And I just want to say thank you na mga bashers ko who have constructive criticism. I'm always open for that because I'm not perfect. I'm always trying to improve. Parang when you have bashers who are just parang spewing negativity, you have to be healthy enough to set up boundaries for yourself because you're only human. And that energy that you let into your life, that's going to affect you. and that's gonna affect your family, the people around you. So parang you have to filter filter out what, like, di ba sa Bible it says guard your heart? Di ba? You have to guard your heart. Don't let every single word that people say about you affect you internally, affect you deeply. Kasi medyo naman thick skin for this level, di ba? Kasi you can't just allow anything in. It has to be true, it has to be pure, it has to be sincere. Sincere, constructive criticism is always appreciated. Pero bashing na lang, ano? Ang itsura to? Grabe. Ano ba yan? Ang sakit naman. So, I try not to let it get me down. So, because, yeah, I don't want anything to dim the light God gave me. Ayun lang po.
Basa muna tayo ng comments. Hello daw from Mark Martin Soriano.
Hi, Bro Mark. We volunteer together at La Liga Marikina, specifically Young Focus. And so thank you so much for welcoming me there last year. And of course, our follow up, kind of not really assignments, but endeavors where they've had me speak at their incredible. Kasi po, I just want to plug them. Young Focus, Katrina Gray is all about that. So it's all about education. It's all about empowering youth. And Sir Mark is one of the leaders who is a major proponent of that. So thank you, Sir Mark. Love you. Thanks for tuning in. Yun lang.
And we also have John Ray of Tiaraholics saying good evening. Sir
Good
John
evening
Ray,
po.
hi.
Hi. Hi, Tiaraholics. Thank you so much for tuning in po.
And Pia Santos, good evening. A beauty with substance and a heart.
Love you. It's my Tita Pia. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. Always with me naman. She always has my back.
Are yung family mo nandito in the Philippines or nasa US pa rin or other countries?
All over the world. My family is so typical big Filipino family po. Even sa states, we have family Washington State, we have family Chicago, Illinois, in New Jersey, New York, California, Florida, of all places, all over the US, Canada. I have family in British Columbia. Shout out to all my family in British Columbia. There's Surrey that they're in, and then also Vancouver, British Columbia. And then I also have family all over the Philippines. Grabe naman. My mom is one of 8 kids, so her biggest brother is a pastor in Batangas, and then we also have family in Rizal, and then we have family sa QC, Sampaloc, and then dito sa Las Piñas, where I'm with my Tita Pia, which is a walking distance from my medical school, University of Perpetual Health Systems Delta, and I also go to graduate school there. Grabe naman, everything's online now, though. So, medyo malapit, pero okay lang. Just online school lang tayo.
I just want to know, how did they support you ngayong MUP? How do they support you?
Grabe, all out support po. Oh my gosh, they're always sharing, they're always liking, commenting. They're asking their friends to vote for me, where maybe there's voting. They're encouraging their groups to like and share. They're all out, and the most important thing is that they're always present by praying for me, and they're always reaching out to me, especially my Tita Pia and my Tita Beng who's back there, and our whole family here naman po. I'm so proud to be Filipino because we're so supportive. Our families are so tight-knit. They're so close. And special shout out to my Ate Ellie and her husband, Kuya Chris, who just celebrated their 7-year anniversary today. So, love you naman. Yeah. So, thank you po.
So, yeah. So, ayun. Yesterday, nag-premiere na yung Ring Light series. To be honest, hindi ko pa siya napapanood ng buong-buo. As in. Pero marami na akong nakita na scenes. How easy or how hard it is to mount Ring Light series ngayong hiwa-hiwalay kayo?
I mean, it was so difficult to create the Ring Light series because, we're in quarantine. We're all trying naman to have our own creative teams. It took months of effort po. Months of effort. months of deadlines, months of getting the right shot, months of saying it at the right time, the right tone. Parang it's a full production. So I'm so glad para mag-subscribe. You've subscribed to Ring Light series. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who subscribed kasi it really is a labor of love. Grabe naman po because when we hit this pandemic, we're all like, what are we going to do? And then look, here's Shamsi Sup Sup, here's Sir Jonas, here is everyone at Miss Universe Philippines leading us ladies to create positive change through this series. So it's really been such a phenomenal outlet, but also, yeah, it's a lot of work po. And so I'm so glad that you subscribed. Thank you so much. And thank you, to our viewers and my lovely lines who subscribed too. Love you all.
Pwede pa pwede pa mag-subscribe, 'di ba? Pwede pa. So if in case na they haven't subscribed, they can still head on to empire.ph and use
Yes.
your code RL Muntinlupa. Okay.
Yes, please. Yes,
Yeah.
please do. So, yes, please, everyone. This is a ring light series with a heart. This is a ring light series for charity. So it's fully relevant to what we're experiencing with this pandemic. I just want to speak right now specifically for the AHA Learning Center that is a gateway to free quality access education and support for our Filipinos who are not able to access or afford quality education because of the pandemic. Even before then, they were striving, but because of the pandemic, they were pushing even harder to reach even more students. And so I just want to say that when you subscribe, please go, please choose the AHA Foundation. And then we also have the World Wildlife Foundation Philippines that's promoting conservation efforts. Kasi how are we going to support our country without food, for one thing? And food security is so important. So my long-term advocacy is always hashtag Coral Reef Conservation PH. Because without our coral reefs that are constantly under threat, we won't have any fish. And without fish, no food. Without food, no food security for the 1 in 3 Filipinos who directly depends on the ocean for survival. And we also have the incredible work of the people who make us beautiful, the Philippine Fashion Coalition. And I just want to say, oh, hello to Miss Virgie Monton. Thank you for tuning in. She is an absolute star. We met the other day for Brooklyn Fashion Week, Philippine edition. So we had the chance to represent the Philippines at Brooklyn Fashion Week. So excited for that to premiere on Amazon Prime. And I just also want to say that when you subscribe, please use my code RL Muntinlupa because it goes hand in line with my advocacy, hashtag Adoption Angels PH, which is to address the over 2 million abandoned children living here sa Pilipinas by making a difference in one life. Just the start of it. So please check it out. It benefits my sweet little PJ at the Chosen Children's Village Foundation, a home for abandoned children living with disabilities. And so when you subscribe, you support sweet little PJ by using RL Muntinlupa. Kahit we can't help immediately millions, why not just one? So subscribe now, please, today, and make a difference. So thank you so much, Miss Michelle and Constantino. Grave. You are so beautiful too. Oh my gosh. I love you.
Actually, yung mga kulot ng buhok ko is showing up. Pero okay lang yan. Natural yan.
Yes, ako rin actually medyo tuchang din. So I'm gonna work on that then. But still, how you carry yourself, you're so beautiful, you're so confident, and you're rocking it.
Ayun, so, medyo nagpa-fluctuate yung internet ko. I hate it. Pero bumabalik naman siya. Anyway.
Okay.
In a little over a month, Miss Universe Philippines will be named. How has the contest changed your outlook in life?
It's changed my outlook in life from a life that's just for me to a life that's meant for service, for duty. Kasi po, during this pandemic, I could have just stayed by myself. A lot of people are asking me, bakit hindi ka bumalik sa States? Why didn't you go back to the States? Everyone I know here in the Philippines is evacuating. Everyone's scared of, what if there's this or there's that happens? There was a volcano, you're not leaving yet. Now there's a pandemic, you're not leaving yet. What's going on? Well, first and foremost, this is my home. This is my country. Why would I abandon my country when she needs me the most? Why would I abandon my fellow kababayan when I can serve? And that is what Miss Universe Philippines has given me, is that perspective, is that I have an opportunity to serve. Kasi dito sa you know, sa South, everyone kind of knows everyone. People are tagging me. Oh, you're Miss Universe Muntinlupa. Look at what happened. Look at what's happening here sa Sukat. Look at what's happening here sa Bayanan. Look at what's happening here sa Tunasan. And they're literally tagging me in magazines or like things like that and articles. And grabe, it's because I have this platform. So sayang naman if I don't use it to at least try, to make a difference. So it's led me to become involved with several organizations during this pandemic, namely Lawyers for Doctors, where we support sending PPEs, food, support to our frontliners, kahit in any way that we can. And because we're a team of incredible lawyers who are here with us, we work together. I work at a law firm as a paralegal at the law office of Legazpi Cabugao and Associates in BF Parañaque, nearby my house. And so it's just so easy naman to get plugged in and work as a team to make sure that transport vehicles have the proper permits that they need to go from our warehouse in Manila and bring it all the way to Muntinlupa, to bring PPEs and food all the way to Las Piñas, to bring it all the way to Rizal even. And then we've actually started shipping all the way to Davao and all these other hospitals that need it the most. And so it's been, wow, just by being a beauty queen, grabe naman, you have an automatic foot into these organizations that are actually surprised that you want to be involved. They're like, oh, really? You want to serve? Okay, okay. They're excited. And then they they really want you and they really need you. They really need us, each and every one of us, to step up in our own way, in our own spheres of influence. Kahit even if I wasn't a beauty queen, grabe naman, we each have this ability to step up, to show up, to take up space, and offer the talents God has given us to make a difference. And I love how Miss Universe Philippines has just jam-packed that during this pandemic, that you are a harbinger of hope. You can, lead people to fundraising events. You can lead people to donate. And then look at how much we can accomplish together. Like, I would have never thought I would be helping run a blood drive campaign during a pandemic. I would have never thought I would be advocating for more sponsors for Chosen Children's Village Foundation so that they can support more abandoned children po. I would have never thought in a million years, but thanks to Miss Universe Philippines, I have that opportunity to serve. So that's completely changed my life, and I'm so forever grateful.
Eto, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions na let's see how kung anong what first thing would come into your mind. If you were not a Miss Universe Philippines candidate, what would you be doing right now?
I would be doing exactly what I'm doing right now, and that's going to school, balancing work, as well as serving my community as a medical missionary. Kasi po, I don't believe in just preaching the word of God. I believe in actually showing up into people's lives and healing people like Christ did, really embodying that. So that would be what I would do if I was not a beauty queen. Kahit the same thing. Just the same thing with a twist lang. Just
If money was not an issue for you to help people, what would you do?
I would definitely set up my own foundation, and then I would also set up my own investment kind of company. And so those investments, the overhead of those investments would go back into the foundation, which would then disperse into different communities. And then it would also go into inspiring and making more empowered women, more people from our communities to become financially independent and successful so that they can also build their own foundations and their own successful businesses and continue to reinvest back into community. So it's a cyclical thing that never stops. Parang when it works well, it works well.
So, sa mga sponsors dyan, mga gusto nila magtumulong sa mga causes ni Chris Castro. Actually, hearing you, parang sana how I wish money would not be an issue for you to help. Kasi natural na sa'yo helping people. Eh. So, I hope sana mas maraming makatulong sa'yo towards your causes.
Thank
My
you
next question
po.
would be, what would you choose? My next question would be, what would you choose? To get the Miss Universe Philippines crown or to help more organizations?
I think that's a catch-22 question because they're the same. Miss Universe Philippines is a platform to make a difference. Diba? And even with helping 22 organizations, how sustainable would it be? How long-term would it be? Would it just be a one-time thing? Because I'm not that kind of person. When I help, it's for my life. It's my whole heart. It's not just lip service. It's not just me saying something. I'm invested long term because I believe that people are worth the emotional, physical, time investment. And so I believe a Miss Universe Philippines should be able to commit at every level of her being to her advocacy, to her causes, and to community. Because that's what we need right now is someone who is going to inspire us to commit to change so that we have the discipline to continue to work even when we don't feel like it, even when we're tired and depressed and are having a really bad day, we can find hope in that tomorrow there's not going to be a pandemic. One day this is going to pass and we're going to become stronger because of it. And so I think that's a catch-22 and it should be the same.
Parang mali ako ng pagkaka-construct ng aking question. Parang ano pala.
Oh,
And dapat pala would it be a Miss Universe Philippines crown or the man of your dreams if you're not taken at the moment?
I'm not
Dapat pala
taking at the
yun.
moment. I would think it would. I think this is a question that hits home to a lot of women out there who are afraid of donning their crown and who are afraid of pursuing their dreams because they are afraid of shining their light and scaring the man of their dreams away. I just want to say that guy is not the man of your dreams. He runs away because you get your crown and you stand confident because strong women scare weak men. So, if you are a strong woman, you will attract only strong men. So, don't worry about that. Don't be afraid
Take
to
it
wear
from
your
Miss
crown.
Universe Muntinlupa.
Yes,
Take it from
yes.
Chris. What
We
would
are
you
there.
advise?
Mhm.
What would you advise people who are afraid of reaching their dreams because of their anxieties?
I would say that you are not alone. And reaching your dreams is exactly what it is. It's yours. It's your journey. It's personal. It's not anyone else's. And so remember, every single step that you take is still a step forward. Kahit even on those days that you feel like you've fallen back, remember that it's a new day. You tried, you are building up something stronger every single day. Anxiety is real and it's debilitating. So don't ever feel like you should be able to walk with a broken leg. Grabe naman. That's the worst thing we do in in our modern day society is we treat mental illness like it's not real when it's just as real as a broken leg. And so I just want to say take your time, do your healing, do what you need to do to feel okay, And then when you are ready, or when you feel like you just want to try, don't be afraid. Just take a step back and then move forward. Parang pace yourself lang. So,
Pang ano, pang Q&A na si Chris 'pag sumagot. Short. I'm trying to check on how fast would you think of an answer. Pero
I hope.
when it comes to Q&As like this one, how fast should you be sample if you heard the question, kailangan masagot mo na siya? Meron bang time limit
Of
usually?
course. Of course, you want to be short, sweet, and succinct. But most of all, you want to be sincere. You want to be authentic. And you want to let the question sink in. I think the worst thing, and this is a tip for anyone competing in pageants or debate, is that the worst thing you can do is be so afraid that you do not feel the question, because the feelings are just as relevant as the answer. So parang when someone asks me, you know, I'll give you a very, very personal example. When I was younger, one of my very, very good friends told me that when she first met me, she thought I was a bad person because I was Filipino. She's
Oh,
white. Yes, and that really hurt my feelings because, I'm sitting there and I'm listening to her, and it's because she was bullied when she was younger by a Filipino guy. And so she grew up thinking all Filipinos were just mean people. And as soon as she met me, she already knew, like, she already judged me. She's like, oh, she's Filipino. So that's how she is. But then look at that. We became best friends. And then, but it did hurt my feelings. And so I just want you to know that you never really know what that person is looking for when they ask the question. All you know is that it's coming from a place of pain that they had. And for you to bring out more pain to add to that is probably not the right situation to do that. And so I took that question and I took it with grace and I said, I'm so sorry what happened to you. But you know now that we're not all like that because we're best friends. And I would never do anything to hurt you. And so when you give your answer, it has to meet that emotional need of the person asking the question. Because grabe naman, I love that as women, we're so good at picking up on those cues. But when we get nervous, it's like we turn everything off. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm just focused. I need to work on my posture. I need to focus, breathing. Am I smiling enough? And then you get so caught up. All of this is already muscle memory by now. And then you are ready to take that stage and listen, not just with your head, listen with your heart. And that's just the best advice I can give to anyone trying to master Q&A. Listen with your heart, and what resonates with you when that question is asked, answer that with your heart.
ano ba yan? Parang na-starstruck ako.
Okay.
My next question would be, what would they expect from you from today until the coronation night? Your fans, your supporters.
Oh my gosh, grabe naman fans ko. My supporters are the best in the world. I just want to say thank you so much. Kasi po, during this pandemic, I definitely wanted to quit several times. Medyo depressed, nako grabe. Things go up and down. And then people believe in me. And I'm just so grateful. Dahil, sorry. Kasi there were a lot of points where I didn't believe in myself. And I just want to say that you can expect that I will give every single bit of me in the preparation for this competition for you. Thank you for believing in me. Because, bashers do get to me sometimes. I'm human. And grabe naman, people, complete strangers, my family, my mom, I love you so much. Ay, grabe naman. So,
Hoy,
I'm just
wag
so
tayo
grateful. Yeah, wag naman.
wag tayo iiyak dito baka sabihin nila
Yeah,
nagpapaiyak ako.
sorry. Kasi you know how it feels like when people really believe in you po. When
Amen.
they
Oo.
really believe in you more than you believe in yourself sometimes, and
Yourself.
you just think, wow, why can't I believe in myself the way that they see? And so that's when I just gotta pray. I just gotta give my all and roar. You just have to just let it out. You have to really, I want to give my all and say that I want to honor their trust and their faith in me by giving everything I've got and serving and performing with integrity and with love and authenticity to what I believe in. And so thank you so much for this opportunity to just say thank you to all of my family all over the world and all of my fellow lions who are supporting me. Thank you.
Grabe.
Especially this Lion President Gia. Love you so much. Tita Bing, Tita Pia, my mom, my brothers and sisters. Grabe. I just, okay, not gonna do this right now because I think
We can't do this.
yeah, my eyelashes will fly away if I cry. So I spot.
Wait,
Grabe.
nasa na ba
Get
yung
me
tissue
talking
ko?
about my mom
I'm
or my family, and I will cry because I love them so much. Like I really wouldn't be here.
actually, medyo tinamaan ako ng slight sa mga pinag-uusapan natin. Kasi there are times that I feel like it's hard to believe in myself. But people show me how much they believe in me na parang sana mapantayan ko yung confidence nila sa akin.
Yes, yes, yes. That is the power of community. Kasi, people, think, oh, why are you trying to serve? Why are you trying to do this thing? Because it's also for me. It's also for our future. Kasi in Europe, they have free education. They have free healthcare because they say that I'm not paying for you to become a doctor for me. I'm paying for you to become a doctor for all of us. Kasi this is how we keep going forward. This is how we keep healing. So in a way, my journey in pageantry is as much a healing journey because of the people who love me. So thank you. Po.
And I love you as
I
well.
love
And
you. I love you so. Grabe naman may iyago ko. Grabe. Oh my gosh.
so, teka yung eyelashes mo maglilipad na yan
Yeah.
mamaya pag umiyak ka.
Grabe. I hope not. Oh Lord. Oh Jesus. Help me.
Actually, wala akong di ako naglalabas ng hot pics kasi sabi ko parang wala akong hindi ko sila ma-rank. Parang they all have space in my heart na parang kung sino kung manalo man kayo, isa sa inyo manalo, parang I'll be one of the happiest pageant pages in the whole Philippines. Parang gano'n. So wala akong gustong i-predict. So I'll just let it be kung sino manalo. Panonoorin ko yung Ring Light series and know that in my heart I love you all. So from
Thank
everyone, kahit
you.
na interview ko and hindi, I love
We
you
love
all.
you too. I love you, Paul. So thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. Talk about my advocacies, to talk about my heart and crying your page. Just
One of my first time yata itong may naiyak ng slide sa page ko. So, okay lang. My last two questions is, what is your definition of a phenomenal woman?
A phenomenal woman is someone who breathes fire, someone who breathes life from the fire deep within her, that has discovered her light and is not afraid to let it shine amongst the darkness around her. Kasi the light should not run from the darkness. Darkness runs from the light. Diba? When you shine a flashlight, the darkness does not encapture that light. The light disperses that. So parang someone who shines the ultimate light, and the ultimate light is love. And so I just want to encourage every phenomenal woman to love themselves and to allow others to love you as you are. And that is going to create such a bright light, beautiful light inside of you that it's just going to disperse all the demons, all the naysayers, all the haters away, all the darkness. It's just going to be gone as soon as you breathe fire, as soon as you breathe your light. So just speak your truth and be yourself. And that is the definition of a phenomenal woman po.
Eto, pinaka last question. Why should we be the next Miss Universe Philippines?
I should be the next Miss Universe Philippines po because I love you and I love the Philippines with all of my heart. Naku po, it's where I found myself and I found my home and I found my identity. And I'm someone who can fully bring that message of heart of the Filipino to the ends of the earth, literally, through my service, through my words, through my actions, through my hands, my feet. You have all of me po. You have 110% of me. And that is why I deserve to be the next Miss Universe Philippines because I will give it all. So thank you po.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I won't keep you any longer kasi
Thank you.
9:26 na.
Ay, grabe.
And I hope na nag-enjoy ka kahit papaano sa ating
Yeah, guys.
kwentuhan.
Thank you so much
Even
po.
if I felt like I made you cry. Pero I'll just give you the floor to promote yung mga social media accounts mo, to where
Thank
they will
you.
see you.
Okay, so please follow me at official Miss MISS, official Miss Muntinlupa on Instagram or on Facebook. And I would love to connect with you, especially around the causes around our environment, around our abandoned child crisis, around the COVID-19 pandemic. And if you want to volunteer or donate through Lawyers for Doctors, you can contact them directly or contact me. It's okay. I'll connect you to them directly. It's always better to connect with the organization directly. Pero kahit if you are having a hard time like writing down all these organizations and want a list, I'm here for you to serve as your beacon of hope and as someone who can rally us to these incredible causes. Especially, I have an ongoing campaign right now for donating blood. So please use the hashtag BleedLovePH when you inquire to your nearest Philippine Red Cross to become a new blood donor by contacting them via Viber, Facebook Messenger, phone call. Let us know and we'll call you. And I just want you to know if you are either in Las Piñas, Parañaque, or Muntinlupa City, the Philippine Red Cross of Muntinlupa will proudly come pick you up and bring you back safely home for free. So there is no need for transportation fees. If you qualify to donate blood, we will make a way for you to do it. So please donate blood. Be a hero, be a bayani, and let's make a difference together and roar for change. So maraming salamat po, my fellow Lions, as we continue to roar for change. Thank you so much, Miss Michelle and Constantino. And to all of your viewers here at Pageant Hub, maraming salamat po. Grabe, this interview really touched my heart and was such a great, opportunity to just express who I am. So thank you so much po.
It's been a privilege also having you here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Bye,
Thank you so much,
everyone.
Pinto. Bye. God bless.